Hello students. So today we are doing part 2 of the chapter The Necklace. In part 1 we came to know that Madame Loisel had to go for a party at the Ministry of Education and she didn't have a dress, so her husband gave her 400 francs and she got a new dress, but then she didn't have jewelry. Her husband suggested she should wear flowers, but she wasn't very comfortable. Then she borrowed a necklace from her friend Miss Madame Frostier. So when she borrowed that necklace, she wore it. She was glorified about her beauty at the party, and when they came back at 4 o'clock from the party, they realized that the necklace is not there in her neck. Let's see what happens. They looked in the folds of her dress, in the folds of her cloak, in her pockets, everywhere. So now when you have, so for example, lost your mobile somewhere, what do? You immediately check your pockets, you check your bag, you check your jacket, whatever you're wearing, you check that first. But they could not find it. Are you sure you still had it on when you left the hall? So the husband's asking, are you sure you still had it when you left the hall? Or he's thinking probably while dancing you dropped it or something. Yes, I touched it in the hall of the ministry, in the hall at the ministry. But if you had lost it in the street, we would have heard it fall. It must be in the cab. So the husband is saying, okay, if it was there when you were at the ministry, then when we came out, if it fell on the road, we would hear it fall. We didn't hear any sound. I think it is in the cab. Yes, that probably. Yes, that probably it. That's probably it. Did you take his number? No. So now usually you have these Ola cabs and Uber cabs. So in earlier days there was no Ola Uber where you had the number of the phone number of the driver, cab driver. So he says, no, I don't have the number. They stared at each other, stunned. Now imagine you've lost something as precious as a diamond necklace and you have to return it to somebody and you are screwed badly, you have nothing to do. They just looked at each other like, what will we do now? Stunned. At last, Loisel put his clothes on again. I'm going back, he said, over the whole route. We walked and see if I can find it. So now he said, okay, chalo, I'll walk the entire road back till the Ministry of Education, and he will look at each place if there is a possibility of the necklace to be found. He left. She remained in her ball dress. Now she was so upset, she didn't have any mood to do anything, not even to change her dress. So she was sitting in the ball dress all night. Her mind was blank. Her husband returned at about 7 o'clock. This is 7 a.m. of the morning. He returned at 7 o'clock. He had found nothing. He went to the police, to the newspapers to offer a reward to the cab companies. Everywhere the tiniest glimmer of hope led him. So he went to every place where he could tell them that if you find this necklace, please let me know. I will give you an award. You know, you've seen those ads in the newspaper where they say that reward. If you catch this thief, you will get so much reward. If you find this, you will get this reward. So he went to the newspaper to put an ad, to the cab companies, and everywhere the tiniest glimmer of hope. Everywhere he felt there could be hope that they will find the necklace. She waited all day in despair at this frightful disaster. Now you all know the meaning of despair. We have written the meaning of this 2-3 times by now. At this frightful disaster, frightful means scary disaster, scared. Loisel returned in the evening, a hollow, pale figure. So now he returned in the evening. He was so sad and pale. He had nothing. He had found nothing. You must write to your friend. Now what is he telling her? Write a letter to your friend. What? Is he telling her to write that we have lost your necklace? No. Let's see. what he's telling. Tell her you have broken the clasp of the necklace. Clasp means uh, the back side of the necklace where you try to fit it to the neck. So you have broken the clasp of the necklace and that you are having it mended. It will give us some time to look some more. Because now they don't want to tell her they lost the necklace. Otherwise, imagine you've borrowed something very expensive from your friend and you tell them, "Arey, gum ho gaya, sorry." Sorry, he will bash you up badly. He will not accept your sorry. So then he made an excuse. She wrote as he dictated. Dictated means as he told her to. At the end of 1 week, they had lost all hope. And Loisel, who suddenly looked aged, declared, "We must consider how to replace the jewel." Now, they said, take 1 week's time. So now 1 week passed away. They did not find the necklace. So they were very hopeless. They lost hope. And Loisel, who suddenly looked aged, declared, he told that now we'll do something to replace it. Enough of searching and waiting for somebody to come and give it to us. And so they went from jeweler to jeweler looking for a necklace like the other one. So now they said, now we'll have to buy and give her. So they went from one shop to the other because they had to give her the exactly same necklace, right? They couldn't give her any random necklace. They had to give her, if this is the design of the necklace which I'm showing in the picture, they had to give her the same necklace. They can't give her another necklace. She'll come to know it's not my necklace. Consulting their memories both with sick and grief and anguish. So both were fed up. They were sick with grief. Grief means sorrowful feelings, anguish. In a shop at the Palace Royal, they found a string of diamonds which seemed to be exactly what they were looking for. Now finally in one shop, where was this? At the Palace Royal. They found exactly the same necklace. It was worth 40,000 francs. They could have had it for 36,000. So it cost 40,000 francs and they could have got it for 36. Little bit discount everybody gives. Now you try to imagine if a person from the clerk kind of a financial position, can he afford to buy a necklace worth to be so many thousands? So let's see now what happened at the other part. So they begged the jeweler not to sell it for 3 days. So he told the jeweler, please don't sell it for 3 days. And they made arrangements that they would take it back for 34,000. So there is always bargaining whenever you go to buy something. So they bargained and they fixed a price of 34,000 francs. If the other necklace was found before the end of February. So they said, please wait till February. We want to buy this necklace, but we will buy it for 34,000. This marker is a little thick. Every time it marks the next word only. Loisel had 18,000 francs which his father had left with him. So now these were his only savings left. 18,000 francs. He would borrow the rest. Where would he get the rest from? From someone he had to borrow. So 18,000 minus 34,000. How many thousands left? Count. And he did borrow. He gave notes, made ruinous agreements, dealt with every type of money lender. Then he went to get the new necklace and laid down on the jeweler's counter 36,000 francs. Now he said he will pay 34,000, we read here, but then he finally had to pay 36. That means the jeweler did not agree to 34,000. He said, no, I want 36 only. So what did Loisel do? He gave notes. He made ruinous agreements. He made every possible type of agreement. He dealt with every type of money lender. He just wanted the money somehow. The balance amount, 18 minus 34. He wanted the balance amount somehow so he could buy the necklace. When Madame Loisel took the necklace back, Madame Frostier said coldly, you should have returned it sooner. I might have needed it. So Madame Frostier is saying, you should have given me a little earlier. No, I needed it. मुझे चाहिए था थोड़ा. From then on, Madame Loisel knew the horrible life of the very poor. Now, suppose you've borrowed so much money, like we take loans, not we, our parents or somebody, we take loans. So, even if you come from a very rich background, first of all, taking a loan, borrowing money is such a task of tension. It's such a stressful task. You cannot do anything happily, satisfactorily till you don't return that money, unless you're a crooked person. So, your first obligation as soon as you get any extra money is to go and give it to the person you borrowed it from. So, now what was the life of Madame Loisel and Mr. Loisel, Monsieur Loisel? They had the horrible life of the very poor because all his savings had gone. 18,000 francs the father had given. But she played the part heroically, but she was brave. She faced it. The dreadful debt must be paid. Now, for all of you, 18,000, 24,000, 36,000 is not a big deal because you all come from rich backgrounds. But for a person who comes from the position of a clerk, and he's the only breadwinner in the house. Breadwinner means the income maker in the house. So many thousand rupees are a big amount. So what did they do? The dreadful debt must be paid. She would pay it. They dismissed their maid. They sent their maid. Dismissed. Cancel. They changed their lodgings. They tried to save the rent. They rented a garret under the roof, a garage kind of a thing. She came to know the drudgery of the housework, the odious labors of the kitchen. Now, I'll give you my example. With this corona, there is no maid in the house, and I'm not used to doing so much work in the house. I'm entirely at school. So when the maid is there, I would get some help. Now I have no help. I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to wash. So I know the drudgery of the housework, the odious labor that my maid would do for me, odious labor of the kitchen, cutting, chopping, cleaning, cooking, tadka maroing, everything. Then serving is another task. Then winding up is a totally different task. So you have to do all of this. All the ladies in the house, I think, in everybody's house with this corona, they know the odious labors of the kitchen. She washed all the dishes, dirty linen. She carried the garbage. So, what did she do? She washed all the dishes, the dirty linen. She carried the garbage down to the street every morning and carried up the water, stopping at each landing to catch her breath. So, it's like this. You're not used to running up and down with the bucket of water like this. At every step, you'd stop to catch your breath and dress like a commoner. And you're no more dressed when you're doing household chores. You don't wear a nice party dress and do all this. You wear something regular, which even if it gets dirty, it's okay. She had to bargain at the market. Now you have to save every penny. So every one rupee is important. So you bargain at. She used to bargain at the market, quarrel and face insult over every miserable sore. So she would quarrel. She would fight. No, give me for less. Give me for less. Debate. Each month they had to pay some loans, renew others, get more time. So each month they had to pay something and renew others, tell the others, please give us some more time, some more time. Her husband worked extra every evening. Now this was what the lady did. Now what the man did, Mr. Loisel. Every evening doing the accounts of a tradesman, often late into the night, he sat copying a manuscript at 5 without a page. 5 sous a page. So what did he do? He did extra work every evening. He was doing accounts for a tradesman, and in night he sat copying a manuscript. And this life lasted for 10 years. So to pay them so much money, they had to work for 10 years. At the end of 10 years, they had paid off everything, even the interest. So they had to even pay back the interest. Madame Loisel looked old. And ये सब करते करते हो गए बूढ़े. Often she brooded over the past. She would feel sad about the past. She would think about the past. Brooded. What would have happened if she had not lost the necklace? How strange life is, how fickle, how little is the need for one to be ruined or saved. One Sunday, as she was walking in the Champs Elysees, suddenly she saw Madame Frostier, still young, beautiful, and charming. So, what did she notice? Again, she noticed a point of envy. See now, lesson to be learned. So much happened with her. Still, he's comparing her life with Madame Frostier, who is looking young, beautiful, and charming. So, nice lesson to learn in this page. Don't take loans, don't go over uh, luxuries in life. Pay attention on your basic necessities. Stay humble, stay simple. If you don't have something, don't create an issue over it. You don't have it, don't have it. It's okay. Stay simple. And don't compare your life with anybody.